Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Stephen Lee, Blackwall Podcast, your humble, gracious guide for another transmission. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. This is now going into our second year, so this is pretty amazing for me. The success is the fact that we just keep doing it, the people that I meet along the way. I want to encourage everyone to follow our socials, BLKWall_podcast. Check out our Patreon. Most of the stuff is unlocked at this point. Donate what you feel it's worth. Also, make sure we disseminate the message, share it with people, think about it. Let's build a better relationship with money for 2024. It's not a quick thing. It's not a quick fix. We're not going to find some, I've got a secret, I've got a shortcut. This is not the place for that. Welcome to our first-time listeners. If you don't know, this is an independent financial chronicle of a buy and hold investor, a natural bear, and someone who has gone through real-life scenarios and adversities in order to share and be here to be able to talk about what it is to invest and be in the investment space for a black and brown investor in America and globally. Today, I have a very, very special, I guess we're going to stop doing that with you. We're going to stop. Yeah, we're going to.
So I am the official, unofficial co-host.
Yes, that's who you are.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. What else is there to say?
She's got the good mic. And yeah, that's who you are. CEO Fierce, Sasha Nicole.
Thank you.
No stranger. Family, day one supporter. Business partner, CEO of 40 Acre Tech. Any other kudos you need right now? Powerful superwoman.
Continue.
TT extraordinaire.
Continue.
And that's all I got. So back to the business, guys, because I stand on business. My daughters, man.
Trying to get ran up.
I know. My daughters, they came back from
ahead.
school with it. King is a legend. So we are going with everything that's financial, business, growth. It's just it is what it is.
Correct.
We're 100 or so episodes deep. We're definitely approaching our year anniversary. So if you are not caught up to speed, have missed anything, this would be a great time to catch up because we're about to go into hyperdrive. For the next forever foreseeable future. I like the way that sounded.
Correct.
Also, Objective Raw and Real is still our moniker. It's still what we live by. I think that's something that we will always continue to have as a premium because it is something that is lacking from the space in general. So I'm okay with not necessarily ever being the most popular podcast, even though our numbers are great. But I do want to be the most authentic and realist podcast in the financial space. I want people to understand that there is a thing called financial threshold for pain. And I want people to be more honest and explore what that is and being able to stretch that boundary. I do. So with that being said, today's topic that came out of the lovely, let's call it black bowl of ideas, is with your broke ass. Yep. With your broke ass.
Thank you. That's how I wrote it.
Yeah, as in Wichita.
Yes.
So with your broke ass. Okay. This topic. Let's give a little background because the other parts, if you guys aren't into our outtakes or tapped into Patreon, you don't understand how this new method has come about. We have created a method of topics where we are putting them in a bowl and letting chance and circumstance come up with the topics. This is not a setup to make ourselves look good and have these great cameos and overproduced kind of content. What we're doing is we're trying to keep it relatable to things that I go through, we go through, on a financial basis, and startup company, real estate, mixture of both, and anything else you got going on in between. We want to make sure that we're letting people know that it's okay to go through the trials and tribulations, kind of vent, get pissed off, and then move forward. Right?
That part, the
move forward part.
Correct.
Because trust me, I want to say, if you give me a 30-day business cycle, I probably want to quit 10 days. 10 days, I am ready to liquidate my whole portfolio and move to Phoenix, Arizona. Easily 10 of those 30 days. Have I done it? No. Why? I'm sure this will come up over the time. You guys will understand the implications of doing something like that. Shout out to my ex-wife.
I should have brought the champagne.
Yeah. But we don't know which one I'm talking about. So that's the beauty of my conversation.
The fact that you just pointed out that it's more than one is why I need the champagne. I don't care which one. Jesus
I don't want to get in
Christ.
trouble, so I leave it ambiguous. Back to my lovely note card, boys and girls. With your broke ass.
Because you ain't got no money, though.
I ain't got no motherfucking money, though. Money versus assets, right? Commodities, cash, cryptos.
The crash.
All right. So, CEO Fierce, I actually want to throw this back to you because I saw this. No, I saw this because you wrote the topics.
I did.
Okay. So when I saw the topic, the first thing that obviously jumped out was the we can't really call it a shot.
Which part?
The title, with your broke ass. Okay, it's not really a shot because this has actually been said to me before multiple times.
And how was it said?
With anger, with anal. Like I'm from Memphis. The motherfuckers told me that shit with anal. You just feel me? So, with your broke ass is
Loaded.
It's so loaded. It's something that's always said to hurt you. You know?
With your broke ass.
With your broke ass. And when it was said to me, it stung. The last time, anyway. It did. It stung. The last time it was said to me, it stung. It stung bad because I was at a spot where I was still unsure of my footing going independent. You know, this is my first year of being completely W-2 free. Right? And I don't think it's been any more perfect or any less perfect than when I had a W-2 job. Just being honest.
Everything has its pros and cons.
Hey, I feel the same, you know, the greater part of it was definitely more.
I think the biggest difference in having a 9-to-5 job versus doing what you're doing now, honestly, the rewards could be the same. I think it's just sometimes a thing of that instant guaranteed gratification.
Yeah, the safety blanket.
That's it. You know for a fact, like clockwork, 9 to 5, you're going to have a check every 7 to 14 days.
Yeah.
That's it. Every 7 to 14 days. When you're truly independent, not to say you're pressed for cash, but your mindset is not to seek out money to alleviate like these little surface bruises and cuts, i.e., I need to get me a new pair of this. I need to go buy this. I need this. You know what I'm saying? Your money, the idea of you getting money is automatically tied to making more, investing it. So it's never money for yourself. It's money for the investment, money for the asset.
Well, and there you go. I think we were talking about this a little bit offline. I think that people's understanding of money is really dependent on their experience with it and their willingness to learn about it. Like it's an actual thing. people look at money as far as they've used it. And I think that right there is something that I've noticed can be a limiting factor. Give you a practical example. If you've never purchased something with your own money that's making you money, that concept doesn't really register to you, right? So if I say, hey, I got something that'll make you $200 a month, you're comparing that to your $2,000 a month you get at your job. You're not looking at, okay, I need 10 of these to get away from this.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? That gap, and that gap is what's gonna turn everything, because it's how much are you willing to sacrifice in that pain threshold to get to the 10 of the 200s to replace your 2000, right? Because people don't really internalize the fact that you're only making as much as someone else is allowing you to.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
I make as much as time and my thoughts and my circumstance allow me to.
Correct.
That's the difference between money and assets. We just had this conversation. You go, how do you do this? And I said this to another person. We'll leave nameless. Your credit score is not something that's going to be able to save you. Mm-hmm. Right? That's just something that'll be able to keep you from drowning. It's not going to save you. They don't give a fuck what your credit score is.
It just allows you to access more debt at the end of the day.
That's it. That's all. It will not bring you any closer to having an asset that's free and clear owned that you could leverage around the markets.
Correct.
It won't. It'll allow you to get in the door of the market, but the admission is interest. Mm-hmm. That is the admission to this, to the market.
Correct.
If you don't have an asset, your admission is interest. Your interest is dependent on this score. Right? Mm-hmm. So for example, and I tell people this all the time, going back to the conversation, money versus assets. Your money, let's call it the cash part of it, right? Of your money. That's only going to move as fast and as far as the ideas you have. We talked about this. If you took a pile of money, $100,000 in ones, and threw it in your floor, if you come back in a year, even climate control, fuck all the funny nuance, that $100,000 will be worth less money. We've had these conversations a million times. Everybody knows it.
Correct.
Right? Now, if you deploy that money, spend that money, access your ideas and bring them to life, at the end of that year, you still won't have that $100,000. You won't. You're going to have used it. You're going to have. The question now is, will you have a bounce back? See, people are afraid of that part. Like they'll never get it back. That's the hustler in me, right? Even if I lose it, I know I'm going to get it back because all day I think about getting it.
Correct.
Like that's it. So what I want people to know is how do you get yourself trained to when you look at this money, you're already thinking, what assets can I either push forward, purchase, or put this money with the other pieces of money to get an asset?
Well, honestly, I think in order to do that, I think the biggest thing people have to address is living beyond your means. I think that's step one.
Well, a motherfucker tell you, I can afford it. I got the money. How is it beyond my means?
It's not that just because you can afford it does not mean it's not above your means. Prime example. If within 365 days, if you know your diet has been every fast food chain that you done passed on the road, and then you get to a Valentine's Day, a Mother's Day, birthday, anniversary, and you decide to step out and go purchase a $300, $400 meal, and you find yourself having to plan financially for their $300, $400 meal that is going above your means. You are accustomed to $10 to $15 A, B, C, and D.
I'ma live my life. I wanted to go there. I seen this shit. Whoop de whoop. I'ma live. I work hard. If somebody tell you in a minute, I work hard, I deserve to get what I want.
You sure do. You went there and ordered that duck confit. Jesus. Spent your $300, $350. Jesus Christ. Ate a bunch of shit you will never ever ask for again in life. Can't spell it. Made your stomach hurt.
But
beyond your means. Then once you identify that I think it's honestly, you have to say that out loud. Sometimes we like to sit here and struggle and internalize these fights within ourselves. Like,
right.
No, say out loud, I am living above my means. Boom. Start there. Hear it. Then after you say that out loud, you have to identify the things that are necessities and the things that are luxuries. You have to. You absolutely have to. Your 10 subscriptions to Hulu, Disney, Netflix, maybe HBO. I know you got Fox and ESPN and this, that, and the third because you were sports. Let's be honest. You think you're winning because you done broke down a typical cable bill 15 different ways.
But I mean, that thinking is it could go beyond that. I mean, it's something you always want to talk about. It's tax time.
Jesus Christ.
It's tax time.
We're here.
We're here. Right now. We're here.
Okay.
Right now.
Boom. Here's the proof. Tell me how many podcasts you can pull up on Patreon today. And by the end of February, tell me how many you see. That means that many people done went out and bought themselves a damn.
Oh, shit. I mean, yeah. But okay, but even if that, at least them people tried something. What about how full are these Spirit flights about to be to Cancun?
Oh no, they're not gonna take Spirit.
Oh, they going Delta?
They can Delta. They can get one good Delta flight in, one good one. Now, might have been on a buddy pass. They might have paid the taxes on their baby, but that's all right. That's them and their business. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. That's it. You know.
So then, okay, all right. I'll play this game with you. If it's them and their business, then why do we walk around demonizing the people that make their money off of these people? Because if it's their business, then it's got to be somebody's business to facilitate them doing their business.
Because deflection is the greatest scheme. It is smoke and mirrors. It's how you skirt accountability.
You know what? Let's go. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna get objective, raw, and real. Here goes the real part of the story. No, this is real. So it's the end of the year. We're doing taxes. Everybody, if you know what the fuck you're doing in your life. And I'm going through some of my wires that I sent out this year.
Okay.
Or last year also.
Okay.
And I came across a wire where I sent across $30,000 to purchase an asset.
Okay.
And I did it, and I still have the asset, no issues with it, great tenants, whoop-de-whoop. I think the issue that I have with it is that I did it in part as education and as a part as turning somebody up, right? This person had never had an investment property before. And I know the security that comes with having investment property. That security is very real. Okay, this is not something that I'm making up. This is not based upon condition of the house. This is not based upon what's rented or not, all the nuance. That's not it. If you own a piece of investment property free and clear in the United States of America, like I had to explain to one of my international buddies, American real estate is some of the top asset classes in the world. See, we take that for granted because we're born here. You know, we spit on the street. You know, we argue about the president and taxes and racism and all this other shit, right? And we forget something. That if you take any piece of dirt in the 50 states and put it up against gold, diamonds, any other fucking commodity, cash, or asset, or crypto globally, you're at the top. You're at the cream of it. Like, this is literally like the top of the top here, guys. So, how do we know? Because there's laws and people outside this country do all types of stuff to be able to buy real estate here.
Correct.
Like, this is like a global thing we're talking about. So, yes, Dubai, real estate, all these things are great. Trust me, I know. But their currency is a fifth of ours. The dirt is not worth the same.
It is not.
So the freedom and the opportunity that comes with that is something that I thought intrinsically everyone understood. And what I realized is that the majority of people only intrinsically understand what cash can provide them. Mm-hmm. Not how money works, not how to grow money, not the principles behind investing. Mm-hmm. At best, they know how to hoard money. Not even save it. Right? Because saving it is actually a function of you making it. Mm-hmm. Right? So you have a machine that's making you money. You have a business or revenue stream that's making you money. You don't touch that because you have other money for your operations of your life. You are now saving that money. Mm-hmm. Hoarding and squirreling away from yourself and penny pinching your expenses so you can have something left every check or every month so you can stack up this thing in your account. That's not fucking saving money.
Correct.
I know that hurts. That's not fucking saving money. So I want people to really understand that we're not talking no drug dealer shit right now.
But
I must have said.
Let's be honest.
Talk to me.
For some people, that check every week is the greatest hit of dope you could ever get. And if you then take one of those people who's a financial dope fiend and you put them in a position to get money every week or every month or whatever the terms are from an investment property, and they don't understand that money, all you've done is just get them another, this is another addiction that they don't know how to work around. So the minute it is time to either put something on pause to get something greater, or you try to pull it away, the first thing they do is start going through withdrawals.
Right.
They start responding like, oh, you're taking this, as though you even put anything towards it, as though you put any work, is that you found.
I think you're onto something because they respond as a dope fiend because they don't understand that the withdrawal of that hit is in order to get another line. You know? But once again, if your understanding of money is what it can do for me, what it can what it will allow me to do as far as surface stuff. No concept of feeding it.
What it can do for me versus what I can spend it on.
Yeah. I don't even think people separate that because I've never even separated that.
They don't. What it can do for me implies the tool. Right.
I have such a hard time thinking that people don't understand that basic concept, but we'll move on. Commodities. As you know, I've invested in physical commodities. I've done an episode about it. You know, it's common knowledge. Gold was up 13% over the year last year, so that's a really positive thing. But I think that the beauty of commodities is it's something that gives you the flexibility to almost like freeze frame your financial picture, whatever amount you put in there.
Correct.
Right. So if you buy $5,000 worth of gold, it's only going to fluctuate up and down a couple $100 in a year.
Right.
Right. So if things are moving in your life really fast paced, and you came up on a chunk of money, you don't necessarily have an investment lined up right away to jump into. I do understand the importance of holding money in physical commodities. Right. I do. I think that's a valid strategy. I've used it, and it's relatively easy to get out of. There's services, apps. There's all types of stuff that literally, they send you the stuff. You send it to them insured. They test it. I think it might have taken me 3 days. I had the money in my account. So I don't have an issue with that. And I actually think it's actually probably underused, if we want to be honest. It's probably underused in the average person's life portfolio.
Absolutely.
I think it's just underused.
Because the idea of buying gold automatically
You have
means
to.
it's the idea of buying gold automatically means that it's something you're supposed to wear.
Yeah, some form of jewelry.
It's not the case. Even still.
You got the bull mic. You can move the whole thing out.
A lot of Asian countries.
Like pull the whole.
The idea of jewelry is an investment. Mm-hmm. A lot of people here don't see it that way. Mm-hmm. Yet again, the instant gratification. So, I do think that people need to be taught what commodities are.
Physicals, yeah.
And that in turn will not necessarily change everything, but at least get your mind and the wheels moving. You see what I'm saying?
Yo, shout out to Ken Sellers, man.
So, boom.
Rice, cattle.
That's it.
Soybean, sugar cane, oranges, orange juice. All commodities. Pork belly. All commodities. Just listing things that are physical commodities that come from the dirt, farmland.
Correct.
Not just copper, silver, gold, platinum, diamonds. Those are not the only physicals.
Correct.
There's a lot of money made in cocoa, coffee, sugar. These are all traded every day, globally. Palm oil. Shit, I just saw palm oil has a whole index.
Yep.
Okay? So these are real things. So, I mean, if you've got dirt that produces any of these things, you have the potential to be part of the commodities market. For real.
Yep.
And I don't think that I don't think that's talked about enough.
No.
I don't think that's talked about enough.
It's not.
There are so many avenues to be comfortable in your skill set, not necessarily comfortable in the ascent or getting into the business or learning to get better, but just in your skill set, right? There's so many opportunities to make money out here. Mm-hmm. So many fucking opportunities. Mm-hmm. It's nothing to fear but fear yourself. So, cash commodity. Listen, like I said, held physicals. Great kind of like pause mechanism on my Zach Morris shit, where you just hit that pause. Everybody in school freezes, and you got some time to figure it out. But then I also love money market accounts. Not gonna lie, Another great way to freeze it. Freeze your time frame. Especially with these high interest rates, it's getting like 5%, 4.96% or some stupid shit. To just hold the money.
Yep.
Every 7 days to hit you with some interest. It's a little bit, you know, because it's annualized, 7 days annualized, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, it's better than the 1% you're going to get in your goddamn Chase savings account.
Oh.
And you see the old people at the bank. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, can you put this in my savings account? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh God, Grandpa. Oh God, he's got his veterans hat on and he's putting this money in a fucking Chase savings account. Oh Lord. And he's probably got 60, 70, 80,000. Oh my God, I seen another older gentleman. Another thing I was so sad. Had 189,000 in his savings account. Family member, still the reason why I know. Once again, not on no nefarious shit. And I love the gentleman to death, 80-some years old, and I knew that I couldn't even explain to him how that was you're literally losing money.
What happens to
inflation is at, call it 4%. If you're getting 1% on the money, you're losing 3% on a year on $180,000. God damn. That shit made me choke. But that's just education. Yeah. Because trying to explain to somebody, hey, that $80,000 is better used somewhere. They're going to sit there and look at you. It took me 50 years to get it. How you going to tell me what's a better? The savings account is the safest place to keep?
Correct. Correct. How you going to tell me?
I've had it there for 30 years. I've been with this bank for 30 years.
And maybe that's the problem.
Well, no, it's not even just that, but no one sits there and says, I helped this business grow all the way there. Why has my money not grown at this pace?
Thank you.
What the fuck are you like?
Correct.
Let's be serious. If you're putting your money into a business that you're watching grow faster than your money, what's
Yeah.
No, that's a valid question.
Ain't mathing.
And I'm not talking let's not do Coca-Cola and Apple and all these things you can't. I'm talking about that goddamn corner store that's owned by somebody that does not look like you. Mm-hmm. That's been there your whole life. Mm-hmm. Why has your money not grown at that pace? That pizza store, that Chinese food spot, that Caribbean food spot, the beauty supply store, the list goes on and on. Mm-hmm. Liquor store. They started out selling 40s back in the day. Now they got Douce, Eliante, Cristal. They got everything high end now in the hood liquor store because we rapping about it. You can go get you some Casamigos. You can go get you some Don Julios. You can have a whole tequila tasting in a hood liquor store.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a hood liquor store.
And they go buy it.
Oh, it's sold the fuck out.
They go buy it.
But yet your pockets have not evolved from 40s at the corner liquor store to Don Julio.
Before you get to the liquor store, we need to discuss the fact that they need to cash the check first before they go to the liquor store. That's the part
we're
you
not
did not
even
address yet.
I'm not addressing.
It's not the fact that you can even cash your check in the liquor store.
I am not
now
addressing check cashing.
Somewhere
in 2024.
Somewhere in there, somewhere in that whole transaction, somebody's a genius. Now, we won't say who, but somebody's a genius. So you telling me I done sold you this bottle of liquor,
2024,
this cheap liquor in a plastic bottle with the dust on it.
Patreon.
So technically, you've come into my business and paid me twice.
Socials.
You not addressing that part?
BLK Wall _
You
podcast.
ain't got nothing to say?
I told you.
You ain't got nothing to say.
This is a classy establishment. We are running a classy
Where's
podcast. It's with the ass. We
shout out to the old man on Instagram. Goddamn.
Woo! That Cajun man is a genius. I don't care what nobody say. Back to the refocus.
Richicity at its finest.
Absolutely. Stephen Lee Blackwall podcast. Your humble, gracious guide.
back to the
we
check
are not
cashing.
addressing any. This is a financial independence in education podcast.
Can you listen to me
Yeah,
for
you
a
had the
split
mic.
second?
Yes, you've been talking.
You keep interjecting. What I'm saying is the check cashing parlays us into the cash portion that we have on your little card or whatever. Correct.
I'll let you cook. Tell us how.
Correct.
Go ahead and cook.
That's all I'm saying.
I said explain.
That's
Go ahead and
all
cook.
I am saying. Jesus.
No, go cook. We listening.
You know what? I'm not gonna do this with you.
No.
I'm not finna do
We're
this with
listening.
you. I'm not finna do this with you.
Yeah, you are.
People, America,
Global.
this is what I have to deal with.
Shout out to our listeners globally.
Get your child out my yard.
So, like I was saying, boys and girls, all businesses can be successful. I'm not negating the successful business model of the hood liquor store with the check cashing and all the other things attached to it. I think that we all can appreciate and understand the viability of that business model. What I simply am saying is that I will not acknowledge in 2024 things, ideas, and people that are beneath me. I'm not saying you are beneath me. I am saying that the people that cash their checks at liquor stores are financially beneath me. I have the right to say that. I will not be focusing my time and energy on educating those people. I will instead focus my time and energy into giving those people opportunities to change their ways through this podcast and other information I disseminate into the world, and definitely focus on giving the children of that mindset not only opportunity, but real input into their lives on how to change this. I think that the idea of cashing your check for the cash in any establishment is a sign and symptom of true poverty thinking.
Correct.
I think that the idea that we have relinquished our financial power as a black and brown people to a system of banking that leaves us in distrust because of the past is also another problem. Go reference my episodes about black banking and our rich history in this country of black banking and how it has fallen apart. I feel that a lot of times when we're having these financial conversations in the black and brown space, no fault to us at all, but just because of the way that it's always depicted in this country, is we go to the lowest common denominator, right? I think that's just the natural. How do we make it relatable to the single mom? How do we make it relatable to the project this one? How do we make it relatable to this one? Listen, somebody else got to do that. What I'm here to try to do, and what I don't think is done enough, is to give some support and to give the pat on the back and the hey, you're not alone to the standouts in our space and our communities. Okay? I think that a lot of times there's exceptional black and brown people here, there, everywhere. But we don't communicate with each other. We seem so far away from each other.
Right.
Because you're the only person in your company in that C-suite that's black. You're the only person in your kitchen that's black. You're the only person on your baseball team that's black.
Correct.
Right? So we think we're so far apart. I really want to shine light on the people that do fucking listen, have put their money to work, have put their skills to work, and are now looking for to know they're not alone in this forest. Right? I know that just got real serious and it got real deep, but we joke around, but at the end of the day, this is about how do we put the bricks on the wall of financial literacy and education for the black and brown investor, not for necessarily today, right? But for generations to come, because my kids listen to this sometime. Just daddy's got a podcast. Now, my youngest ones don't really get it, but my teenager, she gets it. And then so she's going to tell one of her friends. And they're going to tell one, and they're going to tell one, and they're going to tell two. So even if it takes me 5 years, one of these kids is going to be 20-something years old, looking back and saying, I knew Autumn's dad would flip houses or something of that nature. Well, I don't know what just happened to the camera, but that's okay. We're going to keep rocking. Because it just went, but it was like, it was the craziest sound in the world.
You just
we
broke
don't
it.
really know. Oh, low battery. Well, that might be it. The battery died on camera 1.
Yeah. So.
Y'all ain't gonna get no more then. So y'all gonna have to pick it up. What, part 2 or something? We gonna have to figure it out, splice it together. Holla back at me.
Boo bow. Stay dangerous.
Stay dangerous.